We're a little ways off the beaten path on today's show. Last couple of years I've kind of started a tradition of bringing a handful of friends up to Sioux Lookout in Ontario. We're flying out of Knobby's flying camps and they just drop us off in some of the most beautiful lakes you can imagine. Excellent fishing, pristine water, and these lakes are just full of walleyes and pike. And with me today is Naig from Northland Tackle, and they've developed a whole lineup of impulse soft plastic baits that have really gotten popular with walleye anglers. We're going to put them to the test up here because this is an area where you really don't need live bait at all, but just a pristine area. At the end of the day, you get wore out from catching fish, and as far as a fishing experience goes, this is about as good as it gets.
On today's show, we explore Bemidji Lake, located on the Cat River system.
Well, that was what, your second cast?
That was my second cast.
I was kind of disappointed in you. I really wanted you to catch one on your first cast. Canadian gold right there. Isn't that just beautiful?
Yeah, how gorgeous they are.
Yeah, they look like they've been dipped in ink.
I ate that thing too.
Yeah. This is really a spirit of adventure up here too, isn't it?
Well, it is.
I got one here
triple
too.
A lifetime.
Boy, they are stacked in there. One thing too you'll quickly discover up here is, as long as you've got a lot of soft plastic baits along, you don't have to mess with bait at all. Yeah, just a beautiful fish, just like they've been dipped in ink. I just love the way these look. And one thing we discovered up here last year is this water's fairly good visibility, but it's really dark. That's what gives these fish these dark colors, just that dark tannic water. And that little flicker blade, that really seems to help these fish find these jigs. That's a thumper jig from Northland Tackle that we're using, but you know, the crappie fishermen especially have really embraced, you know, jigs with a spinner blade on them. A lot of walleye guys haven't discovered them yet, but a lot of places, that's kind of one of my little secret weapons there. I love using those thumper jigs.
Oh, so much fun. Oh, this is a nice one, Jason.
Good.
The water is so beautiful, you can see them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
About 8 feet.
Yeah, sometimes you can look over the side of the boat and see the fish.
So,
I got them too.
Oh, I wanted you to take mine off for me.
Oh, every man for himself in this situation.
Okay.
Just don't both lean over the same side of the boat.
That's kind of the deal here.
We'll flip the boat over.
You know, that's one of the things that makes it fun.
Oh,
When's the last time you fished out of a 16-foot boat?
You know,
like
not
this?
very often. I mean, yeah,
Just
get this fish in.
No GPS.
Yeah, another dandy. Yeah, just gorgeous. Yeah, you know, and that's the whole thing is, it doesn't take much. You travel light. And a lot of the fun for me is just figuring out where the fish are, putting together the pattern, reading the water without a lot of help as far as tools, technology. We've got a portable depth finder along. We're just using the new sonar phone from Vexlar, which is pretty handy for something like this. But you know, a lot of it just, you know, if you look for any current areas, any narrow areas, bottlenecked areas, those are high percentage spots up on these Canadian Shield lakes. The other thing I like to look for besides current is any type of a shelf. You get any type of a 10-foot shelf, 12, 13, 14, 15-foot shelf where you have a little bit of a flat and then it drops down. Those spots are high percentage spots because a lot of this Canadian Shield water just drops straight down, just big, huge rocks with trees growing on them is more or less what it is.
That's one of the keys to using plastic is when you miss one like that, they don't steal your bait.
Oh, I just missed one too.
They come back and eat it again.
More and more anglers are embracing soft plastics. They're getting over the learning curve, and it's just confidence. Soft plastics will never completely replace live bait, I don't think. I think there's times with walleye fishing where you just have to use live bait to catch fish, but got him.
We got him.
There's a lot of times where not only will soft plastics work as good as live bait, but in a lot of cases even better. There's just certain situations that bode well for using soft plastics.
You forgot the net?
We don't bring a net up here. That's cheating in Canada.
Okay. He's not that big.
Perfect shore lunch.
Uh-huh. Gorgeous, gorgeous fish too.
There he is. See this water coming in here. There's just a little bit of water moving through here. There's about a 15-foot hole. And these fish are just stacked in here. dandy there. Whoa. Walleye that's tail walking. Gotta love that. There. I'm just using 10-pound braid just so I can just lift these fish up over the side, but dandy fish. We're just using just a smelt. That's a really good body style for this type of fishing, and basically we're just casting and slipping with the current. In current or river situations, when you have moving water, that's one perfect scenario where these soft plastic impulse baits shine. There's been several times where, if you imagine that jig's getting swept along with that current and that fish hits it and misses it, you miss the fish, whatever, but you still have something on there where you're using a frozen shiner or a minnow, you're going to have bait that's coming off when you're casting. After you miss a fish, you're going to lose your bait, and so soft plastics, you're not going to have that issue. It just makes you more efficient. That's probably why a lot of anglers embrace soft plastics for certain fishing situations. Feel like a good one?
Yeah.
Oh, I just had a bite too.
You know, Jason, one of the things that we did with our Impulse brand of soft plastics is we developed shapes specifically to catch more walleyes. So like we're using the 4-inch smelt minnow here, but you know, I also have a bag full of leeches and night crawlers and jig trawlers and grubs. You know, everything that a walleye likes to eat with the forage, size and shape. And then we put in more action into the baits because it's a real ultra soft plastic. We use a softer plastic than most out there, and you couple that with the Impulse scent that allows the fish to grab a hold of the bait and don't want to spit it out, and you really got a winner. So we're very excited about our new Impulse line for walleye fishermen.
I'll show you this new sonar phone. It's a Vexlar product. See here? That's just your iPad. And we've got an app now where you get the app, put it on your iPad or your iPhone or your Android, and it can be used as a sonar or even an underwater camera, but the transducer is wireless, and so the transducer can be slapped on the back of any boat, and it's just the most portable, convenient depth finder you could ever imagine, especially for stuff like this. But if you have like a duck boat or just a pontoon boat or just some small boat down on a lift where you don't want to have much for electronics, you just need to know what the depth is, it's just a great convenient and handy tool to have.
There, I got one.
There, I got one. Yeah, I really like that paddle tail minnow. That shape and size is just a great tail. They touched on it earlier. The action is the attraction. They got to be soft enough to where they're really pliable, and it doesn't take much movement on that jig to just make that body or tail come alive.
I got another one.
You got one there?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, this feels like a dandy one too.
Oh, there's a dandy.
Oh, this water is so beautiful. You can see them like down there forever.
Isn't that beautiful? Sun's glistening on it. It's just like a jewel in the water.
Look at how gold he is.
Yeah, isn't that just gorgeous?
I'm a big fan of the soft plastics too because you can work them a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, I got one here.
Just like you were doing there. And when you do that...
Well, that's the whole key as far as the learning curve with these, is getting confidence in these baits, is that you do have to fish them with a little bit of attitude. Maybe fish them a little bit more aggressively, give it a little bit of pop. I always joke that, you know, I wouldn't be very confident fishing one of these tails below a slip bobber and just letting it sit there. You know, it's not like the scent on it and the action on it is that good. But when you give these jigs a little bit of action and swim them, pop them, snap them, work them back to the boat, be the minnow, you know, work that jig and make it come alive, that's where these shine, and that's when you get confident in them.
Jason, let me get you a new minnow.
I got 4 with it.
I got another one. Let me land this one, then I'll get you a new minnow.
All right.
Oh, the dandy one here again.
That is isn't that gorgeous?
Look at
I'm gonna try to catch one more with this while you're messing with that fish there. Wow.
Look at this.
That is a
That
beautiful fish. This beautiful golden color.
Even in their eyes, they're just gorgeous. Let me get you a minnow, Jason.
You know what? I caught another one on that. Look at there. I got a beauty here. I caught one more on it. Is this something? There. Show you what Eric's talking about here. Fish bit off the tail about 4 or 5 fish ago, and that tail's still going strong. Time to change? All right.
I'll give you a new one.
I'm going to keep this one for good luck, though. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the thing, you know, probably caught, 10 fish on that tail. Missed a bunch more. I'd have been messing with minnows. I'd have been out of the water a lot more, I can tell you that.
All right, so time to change is when they're biting, so I'm gonna try a different color.
Are you?
Yeah. I got this electric chicken one that I tried to give you before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try one of those.
That's a good color at home.
Color coordinates with my jig. Got a little bit of pink there, a little yellow there. I don't know if they've ever seen a pink fish before, but let's try it. Looks like that one's kind of got hold of it. I don't know if it's just because of the current sweeping it down, but that was by far, which didn't make a lot of sense to me because, you know, you'd think you'd want to move them around, but I imagine it looks just like a big minnow down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one.
Well, I think too, fish that are in current, they don't have much time to react.
Right.
Something comes by, they either eat or go hungry, and so it's a split-second decision for them.
And so, I think that minnow is just, the tail's down there just wagging, looks like all this bait we see behind us, and
You got them warmed up.
I like pink too. It's gorgeous.
Wow. There.
Oh, look at that one. Yeah.
There. I think the other thing too that can be important, I'm just gonna sharpen up my hook here. There's a lot of rock down there, and I know I've been getting that hook dulled up a little bit, is using soft plastics like this, use a little bit heavier jig than what you'd normally do with live bait. I mean, if you're using 1/4 ounce jig with a minnow, go up to a 3/8 ounce, just bump it up a size, and it seems like that'll help you catch more fish with soft plastics. You know, when that jig falls, you need it to fall enough to kind of engage the action of that tail, and I think that's probably something that happens a lot, is that people use the same jig stroke, the same jig, what they're using shiners, for example, they put a tail on and it isn't catching fish for them the same way. And so, you know, use more action, use a little bit heavier jig, and that'll help you, I think, in a lot of cases, catch more fish with soft plastics.
The most fun part is setting the hook anyway, Jason, so.
Yeah, absolutely. The more times you can do that in a day, the better.
Oh, look at the pike following him.
Oh, that's a big pike, ain't it?
That's a nice pike. All right, I'm gonna save your life, little walleye. So, maybe we should make a walleye color
Yeah.
impulse. One of the things that we're able to do when you're fishing with soft plastics is you know, switch up the colors. So we have all of the natural colors like smelt and natural night crawler, black for leeches, things like that. But then we also have some hot colors, like this electric chicken or chartreuse or different things. So you can really change up your colors and key in on what those walleyes like to eat.
Just having that flexibility.
Watch out for that pike.
Here's another advantage of using soft plastics. And in this location, I don't think it would really matter what color you used. You know, and day in and day out, color is one of the last things that I experiment with. I mean, I'm looking at being in the right place at the right time and getting the right action, getting the jig in front of the fish. You know, I'll experiment with jig size, jig strokes, a lot of things before I change up color. But at the end of the day, there's times where, you know, using the right color makes a big difference. And a lot of times, for example, you know, your natural colors, your minnow looking, smelt looking colors can be good on some bodies of water. A lot of this water up here, chartreuse and gold, can be good. Just a matter of the fish seeing it. So there's certain types of water where certain types of colors seem to work the best. Good one? Uh-huh. You've caught so many up there, I'm not even gonna bother turning around.
Just solid 18.
That fish would look good in a shore lunch.
20-inch fish, yeah, they're just gorgeous too.
Here's a good fish, Eric. I was just swimming that one below the boat. Ready to reel up, and he hit. Yeah, just a gorgeous fish. There we go. There. They're stout. The fins are almost blue. I don't know if you can see that in the light, but these fish are just so dark that I just love the coloration on the walleye and the pike up here. It's just the tannic water makes everything really dark, but almost like a coffee color water.
The other things I like to make sure I do when I'm rigging soft plastics is, you know, it doesn't matter if you rig the minnow up or down or sideways, but one thing that you want to make sure of is to get the bait on perfectly straight. And by using a little bit larger hook, like on this thumper jig here, if you get your bait laid perfectly straight, it reduces a lot of the line twist, and then it gives your bait the correct action, the walking action under the water back and forth. So make sure you rig your soft plastics nice and straight, use a little bit larger hook, and impart that minnow action into it with your rod and reel.
I really like coming up here late summer and in the fall. It's late August here right now, but we've been up here August, September in the past, and nice thing about coming up here this time of the year is that it's just virtually a ghost town. And I know, like Knobby's, it's great fishing, but once you get past that peak season of June and July, a lot of times they'll have reduced rates. And so if you're looking to just come up, and if you can get the time off this time of year, you're going to get great fishing, and also you can do it a little bit more economically this time of the year as well.
This particular fly-in lake offers tremendous numbers of walleyes. The largest walleye we caught on this particular trip was 29 inches. The anglers in our party averaged well over 100 fish per day with 2 anglers in a boat. Big northern pike were also found on small isolated patches of cabbage on the main lake structure that had close access to deep water when we fished this body of water in late August. This body of water offers several inlets and bottleneck areas that concentrated large numbers of walleye. Other top locations included large saddles that connected islands along the shoreline reefs and sunken islands that topped out between 10 and 25 feet. Great fishing could be found a short distance from the dock, but there were countless locations to explore on this body of water. If a location looked good, it usually held fish.